Morning, this is Mr. Tupper. This is your screencast for Monday, May 18th. Obviously, I'm not here today. This week, you are going to be doing two sets of notes. You're going to be doing notes for Chapter 3.1 and 3.2. That's the entire chapter. The notes are set up for you in sections exactly like the book, so your job will be to read each section of the book, decide what's the most important parts, okay? And this particular book doesn't have any parts that aren't very important, so you'll be writing a decent amount. So you'll open your book to page 47. You'll begin reading, and we have our key questions here. What do living things need for survival? Why are we worried about the European green crab? And how is energy transferred? So all of this ties into the work you've been doing with invasive species. So it should start to make some sense to you. So you read page 47. Then you'll start on 48, and you'll notice that it's broken into big chunks, variables and habitats. Okay, we call that, I don't know, I guess that's your title. You have a key concept, ecosystems and habitats, and then it's broken into chunks, just like your notes. So your notes will have living systems as a main idea, and you'll read this part. And there's not a lot of extra information, so all of this stuff is very important. And then you'll look at your note packet, and you'll transfer what's important here into the notes. Okay, I know you do something sort of similar in social studies, but the idea is not to just copy blindly everything that's here or do the first sentence until you run out of space, but to actually read this and pull out the important information that helps you make sense of living systems. So here's one way you can do this first part. So you read it, and then you have your notes here. And here's a sample. So living systems, out of all the things I read, these were the most important parts. Organisms are made up of many systems that work together. That's a key idea. Each system has a structure, its parts, and a function, what it does. And then they give you an example. The heart is a system made of muscle, that's the structure, and then it pumps blood, that's the function. So if you go back here, that was kind of the main ideas from this section. So it means read this stuff, process it in your brain, pull out the important stuff, and get it onto your note page. Okay? So it doesn't mean just write until you run out of room or copy the whole thing. I guess you could do that, but that's not really note-taking. We're trying to help you with the skill of pulling out information that's useful. Then you do the same thing for ecosystems. You go down here. What's the important stuff that I read? What makes the most sense? Okay? You'll do that again. And you continue for each section, for section 3.1. Okay? And that ends right about here after pollutants. Okay? And that'll be the last of your notes. When you finish your 3.1 notes, you'll come up to the front and you'll get 3.2 notes. Okay? You'll get 3.2 notes and you'll start on 3.2. That's a little shorter section, but that's really where we dig into invasive stuff and remember all that food web and food chain and trophic level stuff we had talked about. So it's going to start making some sense to you. So that is the plan for today. 3.1 notes, 3.2 notes, and if there's time, Mr. Barbosa has a video that he can put on as well. So thank you very much. Do a nice job with your 3.1 notes and 3.2 notes. These are individual, and I will collect them on Friday. See you tomorrow.